Listen, it does not need to be a new year, a new you. It just needs to be a new year, a healthier you. Because sure, okay, they trying to take us down at every front. So get some TLC products and up that metabolism and up that energy and up that immune system, okay, that digestive system. Get that all together with these TLC products right here. And don't forget, okay, sign up for ifyoucanmove.com and become a part of the online gym and shed the pounds, honey. We're starting a new challenge on January 3rd, and I would love to see y'all there. Get the links down below. Hey everybody, what's up? It's your girl Bondi Blue, and I am back for another 911 review. And just like All American, this is going to be a 2-for-1. Last week's episode and this week's episode all in one. So let's go ahead and get into it. So this episode is centered around technology and a Alexa Siri type of technology called Hildy. You see it throughout the episode, and it definitely, gives you the Google vibes, like you talk about something, you search something, and then all of a sudden it's the ads you see everywhere, all over the damn place. Okay, so I definitely thought this was a good episode. Like, I love how they take things from real life and turn them into these somewhat themed episodes. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. There's a theme. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it. So this guy has a smart apartment. Way too much technology for a girl like me. I'm sorry, I don't want cameras inside my house. There's always somebody that's not me monitoring them, and I'm not comfortable with that. So yeah, this guy has a smart apartment and everything starts to malfunction. His coffee maker, the lights, the music, everything is malfunctioning. So why, my God, would he then decide to get into his smart shower? I was just like, yeah, this is not safe. Things aren't safe. Why are you getting into the shower? Apparently, his ex-girlfriend, whom he's recently dumped, is at the controls of his Hildy app. And she is not only messing with all of his appliances, when he gets in the shower, she turns the temperature of the water up so high that it burns his skin. And when he can't get out of the shower, he slips and hits his head. You almost killed him, you crazy ass. I'm like, oh my God, oh my God. I'm so glad he broke up with you, but he definitely should have changed that password. Oh my God, people, change your passwords. Thank God his girlfriend decided to call the ambulance to come and save him. Otherwise, he probably would have died from the concussion. So Eddie is creeped out by the technology trying to make him buy a coffee maker. So Hildy being at the house and on site creeped him out even more. Maddie is the 911 call rep that the lady got, okay? So she thinks that the ex-girlfriend is crazy when she starts to ask more questions about how she saw that the man hurt himself in the shower. And then she sends Athena to have a little talk about her future in prison if she doesn't stop stalking this man. Okay, all right. So, and to keep in line with the theme of technology, May bought Athena and the rest of the household a robot vacuum, which malfunctions. Athena thinks that May is wasting her future at the 911 call center, but she can't argue with her about it because she's doing it to keep Athena safe. Henrietta is in medical school in class, and there's an annoying ass bossy girl who knocks one student out of the way so that she can perform an incision because, he was having a hard time with it. So she thought that she was going to push him out the way and hurry up and do it. But then when she cut the body open, she passes out. As soon as she comes to, she's back at it with a nasty attitude, saying that she doesn't have to listen to the glorified taxi drivers, the paramedics, who told her that she should go to the hospital. Henrietta, who is a paramedic, of course, is offended, and she's trying to help her, and I wish that she would stop. Like, it's obvious that the girl is rude, and Henrietta is constantly trying to help her and come to her aid. Stand on the side and let the girl fail. Like, what is the problem? I don't know why she was trying so hard to help this girl who was an asshole. Like, I was annoyed by that, okay? But either way, Buck has baby-proofed the bejesus out of Maddie and Chimney's apartment, and he admits that he is seeing a therapist, not a new woman. He isn't dating anyone, okay? He's getting help because Maddie is the one that told him he was sad, and he's getting help for the sadness, all right? Maddie thought it was some secret underlying issue. You know, she thought that it was something that he didn't want to say around Chimney, so he goes home, and then she followed him home to ask him what the real reason was. And he was basically like, listen, you and I had a conversation where you called me sad and lonely, and I realized that no matter what, I was kind of feeling like that. So I decided to talk to someone. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of goes back to their parents and the way their parents raised them. We haven't really gotten a clear picture of the issue, but we will. So Buck says that, you know, he's fine and he just wants to be finer. And she asks why he didn't, you know, talk to her about how he was feeling. And he says, well, I didn't think you could really help me because you've always seemed very sad too. The thing that kills me is I heard this twice throughout these 2 episodes that I'm reviewing right now. I heard it on All American when Spencer said he was going to see a therapist and Coop said, why can't you just talk to me? And now I'm hearing it right now between Maddie and Buck. You are not a therapist just because you listen to someone's problems. People sometimes need a person that has gone to school and studied some type of science or some type of understanding of the mind. Have you done that? I don't think so. So I don't understand why you think just being a friend, traveling down the road and back again, having a heart, you know, that's real and true, being a pal and a confidant. Like, I don't know why you think that that is an exception for a therapist when somebody is obviously going through somewhat of a depression. Or might even have something that needs to be diagnosed and you never know. But people just always think that, you know, oh, I don't need that. Especially in their line of work. I feel like they should definitely be seeing somebody on a weekly basis when you're in the business dealing with not only crazy people, but then people that die. Like, yeah, you're the one that they call for help. Yeah, you need to talk to somebody all of the time. Child, I need to call my cousin and make sure that he's getting help as well. Because y'all know my cousin is a paramedic fireman. Yeah, I worry about him all of the damn time. So we see a guy go into a bank and he writes on a note and passes it to the bank teller that he has a gun because everyone is wearing masks at this point. You know, you can't tell a robber from a regular person. So she was a little slow showing up to the party, but she's not the dumbest person in the room. Oh no, this robber used technology to get himself caught. So when he first robbed the place, he called an Uber to pick him up, okay? So somebody thought that the Uber driver was the actual robber. But then when they got the Uber driver, they realized that, oh no, his passenger was the real robber. And then his phone gets a ping because apparently the robber is trying to get another Uber to pick him up. So Athena is then able to apprehend the bank robber because he kept giving people his location. I don't understand. Y'all, social media and the internet really makes people dumb. It really makes people dumb. I mean, it's just like how people film themselves doing illegal shit. I will never understand. I will never understand what is going through your mind. Make it make sense. You're telling on yourself. You're putting evidence of you doing something wrong on the internet. What do you think is going to happen? Do you really think federale hoods don't have the internet? Do you think they're not watching you? They have the most advanced internet. They probably can do a name search for any type of illegality and the shit will come up on Instagram. Like, the idea that you think you're going to get away with something is just ridiculous to me when you're filming yourself doing it and then putting it on the internet for thousands of people to see. You're irrational in your mind thought when you do things like this. Did you really think that sending your location out to an app means that it wasn't going to get picked up by the police? Like, somebody make me understand. Just so stupid, but that's where we're at with it right now. Technology has advanced and we've got dumber. So Eddie shuts down the internet at home, okay? Hildy and all of the internet interactions that have gone on today have made him nervous And he does not want that in his house right now. So he shuts down the game between Buck and Christopher, okay? Maddie is having some type of emotional breakdown, and Chimney comes in and it's like, what is going on? What's wrong? And she's crying because she's scared that she's going to ruin her baby the way her parents ruined her and Buck. All right. At this point, Chimney does not know what the hell is going on, but he comforts her and tells her that they will just make the best decisions they can, and their kids will love them and know that they love their kids, so they'll forgive them if they make any mistakes. And I feel like if you have a good kid and you done good by your kids, 9 times out of 10, or really, let's say 7 times out of 10, that's true. I think that I definitely forgive my parents for the mistakes they made because I realized that they're human. And the sole culmination of my entire life was the fact that they poured into me positively. So their mistakes, I won't hold against them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, because nobody knows what to do when it comes to making people and, creating well-adjusted human beings. A lot of us aren't well-adjusted in the first damn place in order to teach a child how to be well-adjusted. So I do believe that when it comes to your kids, as long as you have good intentions, it should be all right. You know what I mean? And what I mean by good intentions is understanding what it is to be a parent, understanding that you have to put your needs and feelings aside for the betterment of your child because they need that more than you do. You're an adult. You've had all the coddling, hopefully. Okay. And if you didn't want to coddle somebody, you shouldn't have had a child. Like, that's just the way it is. But anyway, once he assures her that they will make better decisions, he's now nervous that there's some deep, dark secret that's going on with Buck and Maddie that, he doesn't know about. Like, well, y'all abused? What the hell is going on? Okay? Henrietta is trying to get her kids under control, okay? That little young baby with her little cute self has drawn on the oldest face with the marker. And then a social worker comes over to check in. And then Sydney, the annoying ass girl from med school, shows up because she wants to tell Henrietta that the doctor who is over their class noticed that there was some issues between she and Henrietta, and Sydney does not want to be on his bad list because of whatever's going on between she and Henrietta. And she basically tells Henrietta that you have 2 kids, you're married, what are you, 40? You already have a job. So whenever you decide to quit med school, I don't want you taking my career down with you. Right before Henrietta could curse her the fuck out, the kids come running into the room with the social worker, and she closes the door in Sydney's face, which was just as gratifying, for sure. But her little girl said, bad mommy, and it was so funny and so cute. That little girl is adorable. She is a great addition to the show. That was an amazing cast. Like, I love when the kids know their lines and shit. Like, she's adorable. I cannot, okay? I cannot. So Chimney asks Buck about he and Maddie and, the parents. Is there anything deep, dark, and, messed up that they need to know? And Buck just explains that no, nothing really bad happened. They were, there at the house, washing clothes, paying bills, being there, But it always felt like they were a million miles away. And I'm like, I need y'all to, make that clearer for us because we're still lost, okay? Chimney says, he was worried that, like I said, they were in an abusive situation or something like that. So he's a little nervous about it. This makes him feel better, but I feel like, no, don't feel better. There's still some deep, dark secret that nobody knows. And I'm stressed out because I want to know what the hell the deep, dark secret is. So Maddie calls her mom and has a very contentious conversation. You can tell the parents are judgy. Like, you can't even have a simple conversation with them without being annoyed by their expectations of you and what they feel like should be happening. The conversation ends with Maddie saying that she's been lying to Buck his whole life. What the hell have y'all been lying to Buck about his whole life? Like, what is this? So Henrietta talks to Athena about being tired of feeling like she has to prove herself in every room that she goes into. And that little girl, Sydney, made her feel like she doesn't deserve to be in med school or she's not smart enough because she basically just told her that because of her circumstances, she probably won't make it anyway. either because she isn't strong enough and willful enough to push through, or because it'll get too hard. Either way, she did not like hearing that shit, okay? And it made her feel some type of way. But Athena assures her that she is kicking ass, doing everything that she's doing, and she will be a doctor. And it helps Henrietta remember that at least she's not puking up her guts. She has a head start. She probably will make it more because of the life she has and what's already at stake. I can't afford to throw away the money and time I've spent in med school that I could have spent with my kids, okay, and my wife. I would not waste our money that could have been going to them on something that I'm just going to frivolously say, you know what, I'm not going to do this anymore. I quit. Like, no, nobody's doing that. All right. Shut it up. Okay. But Athena does tell her to figure out what that girl's issue is. Obviously, she has an issue. Figure out her issue. You'll figure out how to heal yourself. Okay. So we see another situation with Hildy, the technology, okay? And she calls 911 for a woman who was doing yoga, and when she opened her eyes, realized that she could not see, and she had kind of like a film over her eyeballs. It was gross. When Hen, Bobby, and Eddie come in, they look at her eyes and realize that she has a parasite in her eyes, you guys. Like, I don't know where they get this shit from, but apparently there is some type of fly that's around livestock that can fly in your eye and create worms in your eyes that will blind you. So Henrietta had to sit there and pluck out all of these worms from this lady's eyes so that she could see again. Talk about disgusting. Disgusting. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Apparently the lady does goat yoga. She didn't want to admit that she did goat yoga. They said livestock, and she, act like she didn't know what the hell, how the hell she could have been around livestock talking about, I don't eat meat. Bitch, eating meat, that's dead meat. Okay. Most people aren't around livestock when they eat meat. Okay. I don't know where you came from with that. But you doing yoga and, being all zen and shit and not eating meat. Like, what does that have to do with this? You do goat yoga. That's livestock. That livestock got in your eyeball and created a parasite, and you had worms in your eyes, bitch. Can we do regular yoga? Maybe. Lord. So then we see Henrietta going to the labs late at night to get some work done, and Sydney is there, and they talk. And Henrietta tells her, listen, I am a Black lesbian woman who became a part of the fire department when I was 30 and started med school at 40. So if anybody knows anything about adversity and being made to feel like I don't belong in certain rooms and having to fight 10 times as hard, it's me, sis. And Sydney then takes a breath and realizes that, yes, I am just a young white woman, and obviously I wouldn't have as many adversities as a middle-aged lesbian Black lady would have faced. Okay, it's just the truth of the matter. Sydney apologizes, for real this time. And this is when Henrietta notices she has a patch on her arm, and it's a hormone patch. Apparently, Sydney has had a double mastectomy and had her fallopian tubes removed because her mother and grandmother both died before the age of 35. I'm guessing from different versions of cancer, either from, your fallopian tubes or your nether regions, or from your breasts. So she's had all of that removed in order. I think that's what she said, right? That's what the mastectomy is, or is the mastectomy just down below? Y'all, I'm not a doctor. I don't know. But either way, something tells me this was preventative, obviously, to, make sure that she doesn't die. And it's not just, about becoming a doctor. It's also about living, and doing something with the time that she has left. If it's, a small amount of time based on her genetics and her family and her mom and her grandmother. Like, it's a lot. So now Henrietta understands, and she says, well, I guess we need to get to work so we can make sure that we both become some damn doctors out here. Okay. So this is cute. This might be a little, a little cute little relationship to have on the show. Maddie and Chimney get a chance to watch the ultrasound video and they finally get to see what the sex of the baby is because they both know, how to read an ultrasound. They sit down and they watch it and find out that they're having a girl, and it's really, really cute, okay? But then Maddie sharing this moment feels like she's ready to tell Chimney the truth about what the family secret is. The problem is she wants Chimney to keep it a secret, and Chimney has a hard time keeping secrets, okay? We don't get to see at the end of the episode what the secret is just yet, but we're going to find out in the next episode, so hold on. May gets home and tells Athena and Bobby about her counseling session at the call center. Bobby says that there's nothing wrong with having someone to talk to all the time in their line of work. And this is when we find out that Athena has quit going to therapy. She realizes that she doesn't need it, but if she does, she'll go back to her doctor. But right now, she doesn't think she needs it, and she doesn't need Bobby babying her. But then tells, her daughter that, you're going to always be my baby. It really made Bobby and everybody else nervous in the room. Like, you're delusional. You're in denial. You need to talk to somebody all the time. What are you talking about? Like, you almost die a lot, and you think you don't need to talk to somebody about that shit, Athena? Just leaving it at work all the time, you think that's going to work? This is going to come to a head eventually, her not actually fully dealing with her issues. Definitely going to come to a head. So, we pop over to the next episode, this week's episode, okay? And a Karen, and that's what I'm calling her, a Karen is calling the cops on a neighborhood block party and some kids that are playing with water guns that ran on her property, okay? May tells her that it is a misdemeanor to call 911 for anything other than an actual emergency. So now she's like, oh my God, now you're going to arrest me? Okay, fine, I'm going to handle this on my own. And then we hear some commotion. She's like, what are you doing? Get out of here. And then a pop. And somebody falls into some water and we don't know what the hell is going on. So they send the police over there. Come to find out, the Karen is now dead in her pool. We do some investigating. Athena and Rick find out that the Karen has called 911 13 times in 6 months. She has a vendetta against her neighborhood. Just some miserable old bitch trying to make everybody else miserable too. A Karen. So Maddie invited her parents to visit. We finally get to meet these terrible people. And Chimney knows the big secret now. So the fact that she now wants to bring the parents around and have Buck around and not tell everybody what's going on. Yeah, not going to be easy for Chimney at all. Chimney goes to play ball with his brother. And he tells him about the secret. He doesn't tell him what the secret is. He just says he has to keep a secret. And his brother already knows he's not good at keeping secrets. Chimney's like, well, I'm going to tell you what the secret is. You're my brother and you have to listen to me. Child, when I tell you his brother ran so fast in the opposite direction, you are not about to put this shit on me. Okay? So he was out of there. Okay? So they all have dinner at the fire station. Okay? And I'm not talking about, Chimney and them. I'm talking about Chimney, Bobby, Henrietta, Eddie, the team. And Chimney tells them that, there is more story there because Henrietta comments on the differences between Buck and Maddie. Obviously, there's a story as to why they're so different. And Chimney goes off into this diatribe as if nobody is listening about how, there's obviously something more there. There is something more there and you'll never guess what it is. And I can't tell you what it is because I've been, sworn to secrecy and I'm going to keep the damn secret. You know what I'm saying? Talking to himself, but everybody's listening. Hello. And then he runs off. Okay. May and Michael talk and she is having a hard time dealing with the fact that that Karen lady died on her watch. Michael isn't happy about it either, but she tells him that he needs to dad up and be supportive of her right now. So they talk about how Athena never really talked about any of the issues she had on the job. She left all of that at work and never brought it home with her, which obviously isn't healthy. Like I said, it's going to come to a head. Athena and Rick talked to all of the Karen's neighbors, okay? And any one of them could have killed this lady because she's terrible. She poisoned the nice little gay couple's dog, y'all. Poisoned the damn dog because he kept running on her property. He's a little bitty weenie dog, just cute as he want to be. Damn near died. I was like, yeah, I would have pistol whipped that lady. So if she ended up dead, so be it. So dinner with the parents, okay? The parents come over with gifts and they seem like two regular, conservative, traditional white parents. Like they seem like regular folk at this point, okay? Very passive aggressive, very judgy, okay? They don't want to call anybody by their nicknames, and all of this type of shit. Everybody goes by a nickname over here. Buck, Chimney. Maddie is the only one that's going by her real name, which is Maddie, which you would think was short for Madison, but whatever, okay? The mom makes some comments about Maddie being a high-risk pregnancy, and she says, I'm not a high-risk pregnancy. She's like, well, you're over 35. You're a high-risk pregnancy. That's kind of an old mindset. You know what I'm saying? Just because someone is over 35, it doesn't mean that their pregnancy is going to be unhealthy or even that it is. But it just seemed like something real crass to say out loud. Like, because you waited so long. Like, fuck you. How do you know how long I waited? Like, I hate when people do stuff like that. Even if it's your mom. Like, that's too much. Then the dad asked Buck if there is anything to worry about since he's in therapy, and it's just kind of like, yeah, there's nothing to worry about. He's an adult that works in a very stressful field and he had you guys as parents. He should be in therapy. Y'all should be in therapy. And then the mom says that they actually did see a therapist after they found out about Maddie's ex-husband dying. Apparently, they had to go and talk to someone about it because she didn't talk to them about it. Okay. They also say that they found out he was dead from Buck and not from her. So that was uncomfortable. Athena and Rick think they've solved the murder, okay? They actually had someone break into the Karen's house, okay? Broke the seal, so they knew someone was in there, and then the person left evidence behind. One of the neighbors has been doing a lot of baking lately, so she's always covered in flour, and she left some flour at the crime scene. They then look through some things and find something that I guess she was looking for in the Karen's house, and they went ahead and arrested her and brought her in. Turns out she was wanted in other states for scamming people. She's a kind woman and she's been known for bigamy. Means she's been running around marrying people for their money without getting divorces and with fake names. So May talks to Bobby. And he tells her that she is going to lose people in this job. And it's not her fault. It just happens. And her feeling some type of way about that just means that she's a good person. When she gets to work, she gets assigned a desk. She's finally passed her training. She did such a good job with that call. They've decided to go ahead and put her on. So it's little small stuff at first, but then someone calls claiming that they put a bomb somewhere and she doesn't take it to play with, okay? She actually does some research on the man's social media and finds out that he's been fired from a number of jobs, and he was fired from that first job after working there for like 20 years. So they actually send bomb squad and the fire department down there. And yeah, he's down in the basement with a bomb. They got a lot of the people out of the building. But when Chimney went down there to check, he finds the man who was having an asthma attack bent over with a detonator in his hand. Fun. I'm about to have a kid and this old man is about to try to kill me and the rest of this block because he lost his job. They blamed him and now he isn't going to get his pension or any of his benefits after he's been hurt on the job. That is fucked up. It really, really is. I get that. But ultimately, that's why you should never, ever, ever put all of your eggs in one basket. Relying on a company to do right by you after 20 years of working for them. I worked somewhere for 8 years of my life and I would never trust a company with my life like that. Ever again. Ever again. Do you hear me? The only thing I would ever rely on like that is my own damn savings. And I also feel like you should have money in different places. Have money in Bitcoin. Have money in cash. Have money in IRAs. Have money in savings accounts. Have money in checking account. Have money overseas. Like, I feel like you should have money in as many different places as you possibly can just in case some shit happen, especially if you got paper to do so. Okay? I don't have paper like that yet. But I will one day. And when I do, you best believe it's not going to be hinged on one company because they will screw you if they can. So Chimney ends up talking him down by telling him about the big secret that he's been keeping. And the man actually was like all enthralled with the story, you know, and he's having an asthma attack. And after Chimney finished telling him the big secret that we still don't know, Chimney is able to knock him over the head and, you know, give him a little shot of something like an EpiPen to help his lungs open up. But it knocked him out long enough to get everybody safely out of the building without the bomb detonating. Thank God. On the way out, he sees Buck. You know, it's Buckley on the back of his fire jacket. And he's like, oh, so the story is true, because he thought that Chimney might have been lying to him just to get him out of the building. But no, he was telling the truth. Chimney was like, sir, please shut the fuck up. Chimney was like, sir, please shut up. Please shut up. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop it. Don't put it out there. Okay? Henrietta figures out that whatever Chimney is hiding is about Buck. She doesn't want to know about it, though. Okay? Then we see Athena and Rick talk to the murder suspect. And she says that, yes, that was her gun, but she did not kill the Karen. All right. She says that the Karen was blackmailing her because she was stealing her mail and found out that she wasn't the person that she claimed to be. So she was blackmailing her. So the lady went over there to scare her with the gun, ends up slipping over one of the Karen's gnomes, and the Karen grabs the gun. So the Karen took her gun, right? And when they were having the block party, they heard the gunshot. And so the lady runs over there because she knows the Karen has her damn gun and she doesn't want anybody thinking that she killed the lady. So she went over there to retrieve the gun. Okay, she got the gun, but the dog came and messed with her at the same time as her getting the gun. But she ended up getting the gun anyway. When they arrested her, they found the gun at her house, obviously. That's what, I guess she had went there trying to get the evidence but couldn't find it. So it turns out that the Karen killed herself. The Karen got that gun and was going out to that block party to wield that gun at her neighbors and their children because they were bothering her. And she slipped over one of her gnomes when that dog Archie ran into her backyard. I swear, when she tried to kill that dog swore vengeance on that bitch. Okay, that dog was like, I'm going to get you one day, bitch. So the dog runs into her backyard. She turns around to tell him to get out of her yard, slips over one of the damn gnomes, and ends up shooting herself and then falling backwards into the pool. It's what I like to think of as karma. Sometimes she's just sweet. So they have another awkward family dinner. And the parents are questioning everybody's jobs. Are they safe? I mean, I hear Buck goes to the hospital so many times. And Buck is like, oh, you hear it because you never could show up for me. Like, and then the mom is like, you don't understand. I don't want to see my child in the hospital. And that's when I figured it out. I was like, I know that they don't have a sibling that died that they didn't tell Buck about. And guess what we find out? They got a damn sibling that they had that nobody told Buck about that died. We don't know exactly, okay, but we find out at the end of the episode. So the mom had a box for Maddie, right? Like of all the things from when she was a kid. And Buck was like, oh, where's my box? When do I get my box? And they didn't say anything, which made me feel like they never got him one. Now, I didn't know whether they kidnapped him or what, but it seems like when they lost that second child, they must have got pregnant with Buck by accident. And they weren't really in it. And they didn't really love him or show him any real love because they were still mourning the previous son. Okay, that's what I'm guessing actually happened. But Buck went off on them. Okay, he told them that his entire damn life, he has been trying so hard to prove himself to the two of them, and it has never been good enough. It's been like walking through hell his whole life trying to prove himself to them, which is why he is now in therapy, because of them. He also says that they checked out on Maddie, didn't even show up to her wedding. They felt like she was making a bad decision marrying Doug. And even though they were right, that doesn't mean you check out on your kids, because if y'all had stayed in contact, maybe y'all would have realized that he was beating her. And they swear up and down they didn't know. And Buck was like, but you should have known. But see, you didn't know anything about us when you were living in a house with us. They lost the kid and they completely checked out. And that was fucked up, because that's not what you do. That's not what you do. I know it's hard, but you don't get to check out on the other kids because you lost one. Because then the kids end up not only losing a sibling, but losing their parents as well. And Buck has grown up his whole life with no real emotional attachment. And that is why he doesn't have one even now in his adult life. He doesn't know how. Nobody showed him. Y'all took care of him, but y'all didn't emotionally attach to him. And that is why he feels so lonely. That is why he's so sad. And Maddie's been walking around carrying the weight of the secret since she was 9 years old. Like, that's messed up too. Who leaves that type of weight on their children? Like, y'all really fucked up. y'all messed up as parents. We just gonna say that. Athena finds out at work that May saved a whole bunch of people's lives when she took that bomber seriously. So when she gets home, they have like a little surprise get together for her to congratulate her on, finishing her training. And her mom is proud of her, even though she felt a way about her working at the 911 call center and not being able to really say anything about it. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like she may transition from the 911 call center into being a cop, because what she did with the bomber situation was definitely some cop shit. She did some research, okay? She did some research to find out what was going on with his ass. But it shows that the family is supporting May, even though they aren't all comfortable with her deciding to work at the 911 call center. But anyway, y'all, that's it. That's all. That was 911. I hope y'all enjoyed. The show is really good. I'm enjoying where we're going with the storyline this season. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100,000. So y'all share this with y'all people. And I will see y'all in the next one.